Welcome to a special episode of Beyond the Threshold, On the Ground, from the trade show floor, discussing security challenges and solutions with industry experts. This episode is hosted by Evolv's education expert, Jill Lamond.
I'm here at AASA with a good friend, Paul Timm, who also happens to be the Director of Education Safety at Allegion, and certainly a leader and thought leader in the security space for school safety. I wanted to ask Paul just a few questions today. Paul, like me, you have the honor of visiting many different school communities and learning more about their culture and their climate. What are you seeing out there as some of the trends in school safety? What are some things that you're seeing across the country?
Well, first of all, some of the trends are legislative. Digital mapping, Alyssa's law, which is going to bring in wireless, mostly duress, to be able to reach right to emergency responders. That's a big one. I think that access control, anything that's electronic, and then locks on doors for schools, maybe indicator locks like we would even see here. Those are all trends in schools. Everybody's trying to make sure access control is tighter.
And what are you seeing in terms of some common mistakes or misunderstandings out there?
Yeah, occasionally you find an administrator who thinks they have shoulders broad enough to carry the whole safety program by themselves. That's an issue. It must be a collaborative approach. I think sometimes we see fancy solutions that are untested, and that can always be an issue. I also think sometimes people are not doing any kind of assessment, so they're getting agendas thrown at them through the board, and then they're throwing things at the wall to see what sticks. Many of the things won't stick, so you've got to have an approach that's not only collaborative, but based on some kind of an assessment.
Yeah, and you know my background, I was actually a school leader or a district leader, and I did not have a safety or security background. So for those of us who are out there trying to lead schools, do you have any suggestions or any places to send them for resources of where to begin that safety journey?
Yeah,
it is quite daunting to start.
It's daunting. I like the Partner Alliance for Safer Schools, PASS, and their website, of course, is PASS K-12. Those are free guidelines from a non-for-profit. There are others, Zero Now, and Zero Now's initiative with the National Council of School Safety Directors is very good. I love Safe and Sound Schools. I love the I Love You Guys Foundation, no pun intended there. And I think those are some really great non-for-profits that have resources that can help you get a baseline and then have tools to grow.
As a school administrator or district level administrator, sometimes it can be difficult to move quickly through these decision-making processes when it comes to school safety. How do you involve the community? How do you involve staff? How do you involve students in that safety planning?
Well, thank you for asking. The first one is students. Students are ahead of us in technology, and they've got a much better pulse for what's really going on. So what's the appropriate way to involve them? I think we bring them into a safety planning team. In fact, I think we bring all of those stakeholders that you mentioned into a safety planning team. We also let them lead. Students who are on Snapchat or TikTok or whatever it might be are already in a place where we might be behind the eight ball in digital threat assessment. They can be bringing knowledge to us. And I think that's a flip in what we used to do. We used to think we were only bringing knowledge to them. And I think it's very important that we receive knowledge as well.
Thanks for listening to this special episode of Beyond the Threshold, On the Ground. If you'd like to meet up at an upcoming event, let's connect. Visit our website to see where we'll be next. Until then, stay safe.